hard to work with. A lot of the widgets with Civic Plus, if we're needing additional assistance, that's an extra charge, and so on and so forth. So our current contract with Civic Plus ends on December 15th of this year, so we would be hoping to be running the new website by then. We anticipate saving a great amount of money. So as of right now, the annual fee for Civic Plus is $14,347.71 annually, whereas the proposed annual fee for Revise would be $5,710. So, Crystal, if you can pull up the City of Edinburgh's real quick, just so y'all can take a look at hopefully what we would be working with. So this would be like a slideshow that we could be presenting. There's all the information, as well as anything with parks, rentals, permits, stuff like that. We're trying to look for stuff that is easier to access for the community. It is also mobile friendly. So as of right now, I don't know if y'all have tried to access the website on the phone. It's a little wonky with the current website that we're using. This one would be exactly the same as it is on a desktop. So instead of, we always hear those comments, well, I don't have Facebook to get alerted. There's an option to where we can place notifications right in the front of the website. So as soon as they log onto the website, boom, they can see the notification that we're wanting to put out there. And then they have the option of, either taking it off, or they can click it and read more information. So there's the City of Edinburgh's, City of Pleasanton is also using them as well. There's all of the information. Like I said, we're just trying to make things easier for the community. And so did you need this?
That and save $9,000,
So
the least of which.
that's $9,000 a year that we're saving.
Yes.
Right.
And the initial cost is 18.
No,
It's about $5,000 for a 5-year period.
yes,
So
sir.
we're
So on the sales agreement, it says Revise requires a check of $5,710 to start this initiative.
Questions, council?
So then what's the 18,000 that puts in total on there?
You could do the 18,000 be a one-time. We're gonna take, there's two options. One is paying over a 5-year period, the other one's paying 18,000 in the additional. All in all, it comes up to $25,000 you take
For 5 years?
for 5 years, yes, ma'am.
Any other questions, council? We have a motion and a second. Now call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Item 9E, discuss and consider awarding the bid to Multi-Street Crew Projects and authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute a contract for this project. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilwoman Hernandez, second by Councilwoman Talamantes. Hector, you have the floor.
Hello again. As stated in your cover page, I think basically a week ago, we ended the invitation for bids, and we did acquire 3 of them. And Public Works, we're recommending, Dirt Boys as to be a wooden bidder. And again, just to refresh your memory, these are the 3 streets that we agreed on a while back. It's all the west side, West Brazos, West San Marcos, and West Medina. So they came in, they submitted their bid, and then that's what we're recommending right now. If you have any questions, I can answer anything you may have.
This is roughly how many feet, more or less?
It's 108,000 square feet. So in blocks, that translates to about maybe 10 blocks.
How many?
About 10 blocks.
10 blocks.
But 5.5 one way, 4, and then West Brazos is the smallest of all the scopes here. It's only a block long. And the reason we chose that one, because one, it's in dire shape, and 2, it goes from being less traveled to one of the most traveled streets on Sundays, during church and all that.
Hector, quick question there. has the city worked with Dirty Boys, for Dirt Boys?
We have never worked with Dirt Boys. This is,
So
This
if
is,
there's three bids on here, how come you ought to give us the other two so we can see them? The other two bids, whoever bid it, the other, it says three bids, right?
there's 3 bids total. What was your question again?
She's asking about the other two bids. I guess,
Someone provided us with one.
why didn't y'all provide the other ones to us so we could take a look?
We could have.
We can give you the dollar amounts if you want to see the entire packet, we'll share that too. The dollar amount, we actually give the two bids. Sure. I think the other one were well over, I think close to $100,000 over.
130 was the very next one.
It was second to the lowest, and so we had lowest bids, and so what we were asking for from them is they told us to verify that they can meet our specifications, and they said they can do that, so.
Have we checked on references?
We have actually, in this area alone, they have 2. They're the ones that did the travel center, what's it called?
At, Petro.
Yeah, the Petro. And they also did a road south of here, a county road. And we went and checked that one out, and it seems to be pretty nice. Out of San Antonio.
Okay,
I mean, go ahead.
KJ
Or
Oilfield
can we-
Services,
Can we get those, do we wanna say them out loud, or do we just?
You say that, it's, yeah, they're open.
Okay.
KJ Oilfield Services LLC came in with 353,437. That's 353,437. Dirt Boys Incorporated, 219,500 is base bid. CK Newberry LLC came in at 403,000 even.
We opened up those bids on the 4th, and we opened them up, we'll read the bids out loud. We have a sign-in sheet, people that showed up to the bid, we were there, I was there, Hector was there. City clerk opened up the bid, so, yes, on the 5th. So yes, those have been, those are all sealed bids. Yes.
The only thing that's kind of concerning is from the lowest to the second lowest, it's $130,000 difference. Well, actually, $140,000. And then from there, from the second to the third one, that's only $54,000.
We saw that too.
So.
We saw that, it's either good or bad.
I mean, if they do a great job, that's good. If y'all check references, call people that they work with, it's great. Just as long as they don't leave us where we, in the past.
And Councilman, you know, and I'm speaking up for Hector, excuse me, I know we're gonna be gonna be watching them as they do one to the other, ensure that it's done correctly. It may be a chance for us to get more mileage. I mean, it is, it's substantially cheaper, which makes our, you know, our little indicators go like, okay, we gotta be careful. But at the same time, I think we have a chance to.
So this is something that's not going to require change orders, and are we requiring bonds?
Yeah, we're gonna ask on that, and again, when we negotiate the contract, we can ask for payment bond, performance bonds. So that'll be a discussion. Now, those will be additional costs, so those are not part of the actual, so that may be an increase to
Right.
do that.
Flex on
But
that.
I'm saying-
Councilwoman Martinez pointed that out where it says if bond is needed, additional $5,000.
Yeah, that's everybody. I don't think anybody included the price of the bonds, the payment of the performance bond. But we've done that, I'll give you an example, we did that with
I mean, personally,
Yes,
I mean, in my personal opinion, I would prefer paying extra for someone to get a payment bond, performance bond, and so forth, than not to get that and something go wrong.
right.
That's basically an insurance.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do with this one. It's not, I mean, it's, yes, it is a lot of money, so we'll set the performance payment bond in the contract and not execute anything until we actually have a payment of the performance bond. We're doing that with the wastewater treatment plant, with the clarify the council approved some time back, and it is additional dollars, but we are, I think we have a pretty, I like to think we have a pretty solid contract. On that, and we don't have any liquidated damage provision in the contract, but it is something that as the projects get bigger and we need things done faster, then it may be more into the liquidated damage provision in there, but we don't have one.
So Councilwoman Hernandez and Talamontes, if you wanted to amend your, motion to include requiring a performance bond for this particular individual, if you're amenable to that.
I think on that, Mayor, it references that they're allowing me to, they're authorized to negotiate, so that'll be part of the negotiation.
But so that you're comfortable that he will do that, that will, let's set it in, that, let it show that it's amended, that he will get a performance bond, from these individuals, the dirt. All right, any other questions, council, for our utility director? Hearing none, I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes unanimously. Next three items are gonna be consent, votes. Item 9F, discuss and consider a resolution authorizing the city participating in a PACE purchasing cooperative being organized and administered by the Educational Service Center Region 20. I need a motion in a second.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Trevino,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Trevino. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 9G, discuss and consider the renewal of a lease agreement with XBS Southwest Xerox for printing, copying, and scanning services through PACE contract number P00230. I'll take a motion in a second. Motion by Councilwoman R. Garza, second by Councilwoman Hernandez. I'm gonna ask for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, item 9H, discuss and consider an act on adopting a citizens' participation plan related to the Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Method of Distribution, CDBG, MID Grant Submission. I'm gonna ask for a motion in a second.
Motion.
By Councilman Trevino, second by Councilwoman Hernandez. That, I'm gonna ask for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, motion passes unanimously. Council, item 9I and 9J are related to the same property. I'm gonna ask for a motion in a second to combine these two actions. There's a motion by Councilwoman Hernandez, there's a second by Councilwoman Trevino. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. With this, we're gonna go item 9I and 9J in conjunction. Assistant City Manager, are you okay with that? You going together?
I'm sorry, 9.
Yeah, both for Mr. Ortegon.
I would like to discuss,
We're gonna discuss them both.
oh,
Okay, with that, item 9I and 9J, discuss and consider an act on ordinance number 2024-0301, amending ordinance number 2024-0104, granting a request for conditional use permit for the placement of a 30x56 manufactured home at property located at 315 North Jerry. The other 9J, discuss and consider an act on ordinance number 2024-0302 for a conditional use permit for Rodolfo R. Ortegon Jr. to place a 31x56 manufactured home on property located at 19 North Cherry Street. I'm gonna ask for a motion in a second. We have a motion, Councilman Trevino, we have a second by Councilwoman R. Garza. At this point, I'm gonna turn the floor over to Assistant City Manager. Rhonda?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'd like to discuss the 315 Cherry. This, if you will recall, last month, this was a conditional use permit that was presented for a mobile home to be placed, a double wide on lots 3 and 4. What was presented and approved was that Mr. Ortegon would agree to replatting in addition to the set conditions that were presented as part of the attachment to the application. And in that set conditions, we were requiring, we approved the setbacks on the site plan that he submitted. He agreed to place the mobile home 40 from the front, 40 feet back. That was his recommendation on his site plan. And then meet the setback requirements. What Mr. Ortegon did here, you can tell, one, the work was started without a permit, and we did not get a relocation permit. That was part of the conditions that were discussed with him when we met. What we do is we meet with, once the council approves all of the applications presented, We then sit with the applicants and go over the conditions and requirements and have them sign those conditions. He was too close to the fence line, so the requirements are 15 feet side yard requirements. The front, we require 25 feet. Mr. Ortegon side plan, he was wanting to go 40 feet back. Upon my understanding, upon discovering that he would be moving it too far back and it would then impose on, he's got a electrical utility pole to the back, and then there was some additional plumbing utilities. And those plumbing utilities feed both the house that burned down and this little storage shed that has become a residential area. What I'd like to point out is the council approved back in 2022 that we would not allow storage sheds to become residential homes because these are not approved buildings that are built to code. And so we have before you, he would like to amend and ask you to ratify the site plan that meets the proposed requirements that we require. So leaving the mobile home 25 feet instead of going 40, our setbacks for the front is 25, and he would meet that. In addition, he is meeting the side yard requirements that we require 15 on each side. The conditions that we're asking you all to consider is that he can keep the storage shed as a storage shed and only allow our ordinance 44.6, and I've attached it here, requires 1 meter per dwelling. Our ordinances also require 1 residential area per lot, and we have 2 here. So we're asking that he, as part of the condition for 315 Cherry, that the utilities would be under 1 meter and the other one would become a storage shed. Per the 2022, I believe, when you all were presented, if you recall, you all were presented with several residents that wanted to turn these storage sheds into residential homes, and you all agreed not to accept that.
Mayor and Council, part of the other reason is, the setbacks is there was one case, at least one that I can think of, maybe less than a year ago, that the person placed a mobile home and that person had to move the mobile home because it was something the council had approved. So I think it was a matter of feet that person, or a foot that person had to move. So all we're saying is that mobile home, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there now, mobile home is placed.
Yes.
So all we're saying is that mobile home right now, as it sits, is not, we're asking for the ratification. If you allow Mr. Ortegon to do that, that it doesn't have to be moved, it'll stay where it's at. That's really the premise, not the only premise, but one of the premises of why we bring that, because we have done that to another applicant. I'll leave it there.
Okay, so you've got item 9I. Is there anything else to add to that?
No.
Okay, move on to item 9J.
So with it saying, I have a question, so with it staying like that, we're good, we're not gonna have to come back again, it's gonna be good, he just has to move the utility thing, right?
Yes,
Am I correct?
yeah, he's good on the setbacks for the double wide.
This is like the 3rd time we've already done this, I just wanna make sure he's fine.
Yeah, he's good on the double wide. Here you can see where he was too close to the fence line, and this is when that house burned down. It was initially really close to the fence line, and the properties next door caught on fire.
Okay.
And that's the reason why we have these setback requirements. So we asked him to move it, to at least comply with our setbacks, even though he was willing, on the initial site plan, he was willing to go further back. But we are asking that you allow for the current setbacks and then take into consideration the city ordinances and then the council's decision on that, the storage shed. Initially, the permit that he pulled was for a storage shed.
It needs to make sure that's gonna be just a storage and not a residential, because then we'll be eating those phone calls.
Right. long as that's,
Okay, all right, so we'll go to nine J,
We can go to nine J.
all right.
So,
Yeah, so do we have to go and redo the thing with the motion with the recommendations of the city?
with the amendment to
Okay.
require that as a condition, that it